Hey Vibe Tribe, it's just the vibe, and I am here to give you guys your New Year's resolution readings. Yeah, that means what are we working on in 2026? Okay, I'm gonna go through all 12 signs. So we're gonna start at Aries, and then we're gonna make our way all the way back around to those Pisces. Amen. So, to my Aries, what is going to be your New Year's resolutions? What are my Aries working on for 2026? Let's see. I hope everybody's doing well. I love you all. I've taken a little break. You know, it was the holidays. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. My holidays were really special, so I'm very, very grateful. What are my Aries working on in 2026? What are the Aries New Year's? All right, we're working on getting over the past, Aries. Leaving the past in the past. We have solar flares, which is an activation. So this is you getting very active and forward moving in your own plans. This is you getting more future focused. So you're working on releasing the past in 2026 and getting much more future focused. This is way too many cards. Way too many cards. Okay, I will read you them, but I'm not going to take them all. Okay, Aries. In 2026, we're working on growth and expansion, okay? We're working on cultivating things that bring us joy and peace. We're restructuring our lives. So this is home, this is relationship, this is foundation, this is building things off of solid foundation, okay? We got nurture, right? We got nurturing. We have the energy of shining. We have newness with this invitation. We have cross-pollination, and then we have investigating, right? So we're going to look a little deeper into situations. We're not just going to let our minds run off. You know, we're going to invest in doing thorough investigations before we assume or before we jump to conclusions. We're going to let our inner light out this year, Aries. We are going to shine this year, and that's here with that expansion. Heavy fire energy. So I feel like you guys are very, very activated. And like I said, that is with that solar flares energy, Aries. We do have new relationships that we're going to nurture. Both of those are floral energies, flower, and then, you know, birds and the bees with that cross-pollinate energy. So I do see love blossoming. I see things being built from a much healthier space in 2026. So with that invitation, you're being invited into new things. And like I said, that's we're working on leaving the past in the past. Our biggest New Year's resolution is not opening doors for the past. Okay, we're going to cultivate new spaces. We're going to build new meaningful relationships. We're going to structure things not around ego, right? Not around lustful desires. I say, because that's an Aries energy. I say, and what I say goes. And so we're going to cultivate healthier relationships. We're going to build on solid foundations. You know, no ego, no pride, you know, no spite. Because, you know, y'all know how y'all get, okay? All right, so let's get some advice from my Aries for how they can tackle these 2026 New Year's resolutions. Give me some advice for the Aries, please. Advice for my Aries for their New Year's resolutions. Can I have some advice from my Aries, please, for their 2026 New Year's resolution? All right, Aries, we have inspiration, the joyful muse, okay? That's number 33, which is a beautiful number. That is a beautiful energy. It's bringing in love. It's letting you know that you do have really great things to look forward to. The joyful muse says there's inspiration, the gift of play in your inner child. The joyful muse invites you to be more playful, to have more mirth and joy in your life. You've become boring, even to yourself, as others continue to find you interesting. Circumstances may have dulled your edge, and it's time for change. Not the things around you, but your attitude. Blow a kiss to yourself in the morning. Smile to a stranger. Wink at a child, or be mildly but elegantly inappropriate. The joyful muse is a source of inspiration. It's a wild and disruptive feminine force that compels you to invite more pleasure and delight into your life. Give yourself permission to be mischievous. Find humor in tragedy while being careful not to become frivolous. The power of this muse will shake up everyone around you, and it'll invite you to create more beauty and grace out of pain and tragedy that you perceive in areas of your life. The joyful muse often comes at a time where darkness prevails and the future seems dour. Embrace these gifts and be playful without being silly. Invite your inner child to come out and play. He or she will help you to return to that innate innocence, the place of never been there or never done that, even if it's the same thing you do every day. right? So inviting more joy, more beauty, more fun, more pleasure, getting out of the low, getting out of the dreadful, and really letting the past and those experiences go, right? Letting the pain of the past go. So let's look out for let's see what some red flags are. What can my Aries work on in 2026? So these are internal red flags, Aries. These aren't red flags from others around you. These are the red flags that you need to work on with your New Year's resolutions, okay? So can I have some internal red flags from my Aries? What are things that they can work on during 2026? You got a green light, so stop holding yourself back, Aries. That's one for sure. You have a green light. You have the go ahead. So no more overthinking, no more thinking the worst, and no more stopping yourselves, okay? This is you. We got hot-headed, right? We have the energy of being hot-headed. So this person has a bad temper. We're going to work on our temper in 2026, Aries. And I said that's that spite energy. You know, you guys can be very impulsive. So making sure that we're working on our ego, making sure that we're working on our pride, making sure that we're trying to stay level-headed and rational. Remember, that's that investigate energy. So before we jump off and become hot-headed and impulsive and irrational, we're going to think, we're going to look more into a situation. We're going to try to make sure that we are getting to the bottom of something before we go and fly off the handle, right? Says an energy vampire. So we're going to be cautious of the energies that we keep around us as well, Aries. Maybe not just having people around for their fun, because you may be inviting energy vampires around you. So we're going to be aware of the people that you have around you, okay? You do have the energy of loyal, faithful, and honorable. So that's an energy that we're going to invite more of, because that's a green flag. So we're going to work on being faithful. We're going to work on being loyal. We're going to work on living with honor and integrity in 2026, okay? We have the energy of being passive also. So I feel like in some situations you may be very, very passive, while in other situations you may be very, very domineering. I know that there's a picking and choosing of how that manifests, but this is the energy of not allowing certain things to go, not allowing yourself to be passive in certain situations, but also not allowing yourself to be hot-headed. And so there is a healthy balance of your emotional space that needs to happen in 2026, okay? And then we have stress. We're going to work on maintaining our stress, right? So you guys have the green light, which is go. You know, you guys have full permission from the universe to go after your dreams, go after the things that you want. We're going to work on being honorable. We're going to work on our morals and our values and integrity. We're going to work on our energy. Okay, we're going to work on our emotions and our temper. We're going to work on the way that we express ourselves, because that passive energy can also be self-expression. You know, instead of letting somebody know how you feel, you can be passive aggressive up until you can't anymore. Now I've let it go enough and now I'm about to explode. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to work on communicating our emotions. We're going to work on processing them. Okay, and then we're going to work on managing our stress in much better ways. Okay. All right, so let's get some messages of love for 2026. What do my Aries need to, what are the resolutions for my Aries regarding love for 2026? What will be the New Year's resolutions for my Aries in love? All right, we have trust. We're going to work on trusting more, and that's here with that loyal and faithful energy. So we're going to trust when it comes to love a little bit more, not allowing trust issues to hold you back, because remember, we're letting go of the past and we're inviting in new, okay? Speaking of new love, we're going to invite in new love. We're going to open up to new love, and this new love has true love attached to it. So this new love that we're going to be working on in 2026, we're inviting in something that's new, something that's true, something that is unconditional, something that you can feel, that you don't have to guess. And then we have unplugging, working less can strengthen your relationship. So we're going to work on building more solid and meaningful relationships, not just things built off of passion or impulse or codependency. Aries, you guys have a really big problem with that's mine. And I said that's mine, so I'm going to take that. That's mine. I want that. That's mine. We're going to work on things being very balanced, very, mutual, very reciprocal. And so as we manifest new love in 2026, we're going to make sure that it's a healthy love, right? We're working on some really great things internally in 2026 for you, Aries. So I hope that this reading helped. I hope that you look forward to 2026 and all of the beautiful blessings that are coming. We're releasing the past and we're moving into new, right? I love you, Aries. I'll talk to you soon.